Recently, my mother turned 65. In her usual generous fashion, she offered to take the whole family out to dinner on her dime, and she wanted no gifts. Instead, she asked that at the dinner, each of us would, and I'm quoting here, say something we'll always remember her by. My stepdad conveyed this request in a text message. Something we'll always remember her by. Like when she's dead? Is this a birthday party or an early funeral? I'm pretty sure my mom did not intend to give me an existential seizure. But the more I reflected on how to answer her question, the more stuck and panicked I became. Simple answers like, I remember when you taught me how to bake chocolate chip cookies, felt utterly trivial. And anything more complex led to the unsayable and unavoidable truth. Someday, my mom is going to die. Happy birthday to you. My parents divorced when I was small, and I have feared my mother's death for as long as I can remember. Until I was too old to harbor such fantasies, I believed I could prevent her death, or at least mitigate the pain. Whenever Mom would run an errand, I jumped at the chance to join her, thinking my presence could ward off danger. Or, if I failed and the car crashed, at least she wouldn't die alone, and I wouldn't be left alone without her. I'm now 36, and in the last few years, my mom and I have been attending Buddhist meditation retreats. Together, we've learned how all things are interconnected. You don't have to be a Buddhist to get on board with this idea, at least insofar as it applies to children and parents. It's visible in the way babies look like us, in the mannerisms we share, even in the behaviors we learn from each other. This is not the same thing as fate. There is power in our choices. But when I exclaim, God bless America, or for Pete's sake, instead of other choice curse words, I hear my mother's voice coming from my mouth. And that's her presence in me that Buddhists call conditioning. I see it in my son, too. Our shared goofy streak, our sensitive temperament, even our sweet tooth. I'm fortunate to have many seeds of my mother in me that I want to water. Her open heart, her courage, her resilience. And there are also things that, like any child, I'd like to allow to go dormant. I pray that as I grow older, I will figure out how to be kinder to myself, that I will be quicker to appreciate the preciousness of my body rather than bemoaning its flaws, that I will care less about disappointing people. I hope that the conditioning I've passed along to my son contains a little less sorrow, a little more ease. If I succeed, the accomplishment will belong to my mom as well as to me. Mom and I have an unspoken agreement not to ask one another what we think about and experience in the silence of meditation. But, given the conditioning we share, I bet some of the same stuff comes up for each of us. I think we both reflect on our drive to do better and its shadow side of self-criticism. We try to be a little wiser, a little gentler to ourselves and others. In spite of this, we sometimes fail. As we sit side by side, our eyes closed, we are mother and daughter, but we are also simply two human beings, both sometimes suffering, both doing our best, and both brimming with gratitude for this life that we have. Mom, my love for you goes far beyond remembering. For as long as I'm here, for as long as my son and his children and their children are here, you will be present. You are there in my every breath. How beautiful that we can't forget and we don't need to remember. And one more thing. Happy birthday. Thank you.